Well, hello there, you mad lot. Welcome back to my channel. You guys asked for it, here it comes. More Assassin's Creed 3. If you're enjoying the series so far, please leave a subscription, leave a like on the video you're watching, and feel free to comment anything you want to say. And with that plug out the way, let's get back to Haytham. So if you remember where we last left off, we were gathering Haytham's cronies. He had a list of 5 names. We found one so far. He just happened to come with a sidekick. We are chasing Benjamin Church now. A rather interesting character. The Surgeon, Chapter 2.
Wonderful. Charles? Sir?
Gonna end up playing with the brightness again, guys. I'm really sorry. It's annoying me that I can't get it just right. Just want to double check my HDR settings. Yeah, everything looks okay.
Like we're not the only ones looking for Mr. Church.
Damn it, he could be anywhere. What do we do?
We find him. Come. I'll show you how.
I love Haytham. He's such a good character. So, I should point out that since I played the game back in the PlayStation 3 days, some of the animations, some of the designs have changed slightly. When I remember Haytham unsheathing his hidden blade before, I described it quite badly in the previous episodes. So it looks like it has the main part of the blade, the main body of the blade, but when it came to the point, it had a funny sort of, it's like it came from a narrow part of the blade to flare out into a proper diamond shape. It's hard to describe, but you're probably going to be able to find footage of that somewhere. And now it looks like it's changed again slightly in this remastered version. It looks like, again, the main body of the blade, and it comes to a slightly hooked tip, which, as I say, was different. Here's the information on Church. And if you want to read more into that, go ahead and pause it. This takes me back to Assassin's Creed.
Mechanical forging of all.
Should we write his family, do you think?
Not our business to meddle, even if we've the best of intentions.
Social status indicator.
Seen it. They were surely drunk carrying on like that, and during the day, no less.
You have but one new and
That's the social status indicator.
Montgomery's pure python extract.
I'm trying to.
What scandalous behavior from one who aims to be a surgeon. Not likely if he keeps up such carousing.
Truly a shameful display. Benjamin's parents would be mortified.
Perhaps I should send someone to retrieve him before he damages his reputation beyond repair.
They stumbled off to the northeast, no doubt in search of a tavern or some other place of ill repute.
Start questioning those on the street. I'm headed for higher ground.
Hostilities increase at the frontier as both French and British forces attempt
So,
Indian
as you get higher, it tells you there that as you get higher and increase your elevation, you can see farther, and so it increases the rate at which the map is revealed to you. Now, that is a key difference from the previous Assassin's Creed games. In the previous Assassin's Creed games, moving through the streets did not reveal your map. You had to find viewpoints, climb them, and that would reveal a portion of the map. Sort of a as far as the eye can see type thing. But you could only pick out specific details close to you. So you had to use the viewpoints to then figure out where your secondary missions were, things that would help you get closer to your main objectives. In this game, as you can see from the minimap in the corner, walking through the streets just shows me, it actually reveals the map to me. However,
Has your neighbor damaged your carriage?
when you get higher,
Trod upon by some reckless loud's horse.
I'm still pushing X. Muscle memory from the previous games. So yeah, as you get higher, the rate of how much of the map is revealed to you changes. It makes such a difference just being able to use R2 to move. So it wants me to climb the church steeple. Once again, these sort of hidden, these sort of high spires in the game are my key to revealing a bigger bit of my map. You see in the bottom portion of the map there's an indicator that tells me where danger is, the red indicators, but you'll also see ones with crosshairs in it. They are marksmen. New South Meeting House, another wooden church, this time with a bell in the steeple. Samuel Adams' father was one of the founding members. Sam Adam was also one of the founding fathers of the United States of America. I believe he's another signatory of the Constitution. I'm surprised it wasn't torn down for firewood during the siege, but I guess its members hadn't angered the British enough for that. Excuse me for a moment. Mute my mic. It's conveniently named so you won't mistake it for the Old South Meeting House, where all the important events happen. Simple as best. Again, this probably means more to American viewers. If you want to add any more detail on locations or anything else that's missing from the history, do feel free. I like history, I enjoy learning. Up the tower we go, all the way up to the top of the steeple. Now this has, when you get all the way to the top of the steeple, this has unique animations for their balancing to view the surrounding countryside. Previously they would crouch like this and watch all the way around. Watch. Now they stand up balanced on one foot, looking around them.
Time to take a listen. With luck, one of those people knows what became of Benjamin.
Here we go. Use clues to locate your target. So this harks back to an older system in Assassin's Creed 1, where in order to find your targets, you had to utilize the environment. You had to talk to people. You could beat information out of subjects. They were called interrogation missions. You could pickpocket information from people. Pickpocketing missions, obviously. Eavesdropping were done by sitting on benches near people. You didn't have to follow them like I'm gonna have to do here, whilst staying hidden.
So he says to church that one way or another the debt would be settled. I don't envy the man. These green times ahead.
Well, what do you think they're planning?
All I know is it can't be good. Cutter was with them.
Probably looking for a nice, quiet place to do the deed.
I think we will restart that. That's a whoopsie. I never meant to do that. I don't understand why it did that.
With luck, one of those people knows what became of Benjamin.
Right, let's try not to start a fight with the Redcoats. The British Army, colloquially known as the Redcoats. Why were they known as the Redcoats? Pretty obvious why they were known as the Redcoats, because they wore redcoats. It's right there in the name, Redcoats. That would be the staple colour of the British Army's infantry for a good another 100 years, I believe, until the sort of end of the Boer War. Maybe by then, actually. No, because then, I remember in the African campaigns, they were still wearing...
I've asked the criers, but they all plead ignorance.
Bugger that! They're lying!
Aye. Well, what can I do? Threats light off them and I'll not deign to grovel.
Actions speak louder than words, my friend. Arrest one and put him in stocks. See if he's so glib then.
To do so without cause will set them singing songs about us. Last thing the city needs is town criers complaining about our abuse of authority.
And forget it. The crime is done. The killer's gone. Those who know won't share their secrets. If the city wishes to harbor scoundrels, let them pay the price for it.
So, it's difficult to describe this. Law and order wasn't maintained by the police until much later in history. I think about another 100 years from this date before you see any kind of established police forces. I think the London Metropolitan Police wasn't founded until the early 1800s, and they were nicknamed Peelers after the gentleman who founded them. Law and order at the minute is maintained by the army. So the colonists here look after their own affairs. You know, they sue people in civil courts. They take, they litigate. And if there's violence or a killer or anything like that, it's investigated by the local army, these guys. They're responsible for maintaining law and order in the city.
So he says to Church that one way or another the debt would be settled. I don't envy the man.
Well, what do you think they're planning?
All I know is it can't be good. Cutter was with him.
Probably looking for a nice, quiet place to do the deed. From what I hear tell, his work usually involves quite a bit of screaming.
Which reminds me, we'd best not buy any meat to
Good call, that.
There we go. So those guards, they know that there's something going on, that there's someone killing people. They're not going to get involved though, because the citizens aren't going to like the way that these guys investigate and interrogate. So they're just going to let whoever this killer is carry on with his deeds, basically. We want to sit on a bench here.
They waved me away. Insisted it was all under control.
How odd. Did they say what had happened?
No. Only that it was a trifling matter, and he'd be returned home soon. There was some blood, though, so I wonder if it wasn't more serious than they let on.
Where were they taking him?
Towards the hilltop. Perhaps there's a doctor at the fort.
Okay.
See, Charles? We'll have church in no time, just as I said we would.
If I might ask, sir, where did you learn to do all this?
It is a requirement when you are raised in the manner that I was. Perception is fundamental to the Order. It guides the feet when running and climbing, informs the hands when striking and fighting. But most important, it transforms the senses, and we begin to know the world in a different way.
So there's some comments on the assassins training. Haytham's been raised to sharpen his perception, to notice more of what goes on in the world around him. And the side effect of sharpening those senses is you see further ahead, so you can plan your route, you can climb and sprint more effectively without running into obstacles. When you're fighting, your attacks are accurate, you know where to hit your opponent, and your timing is good. And the most important thing though is that it changes how you look at the world. You can see, you know where to go for information. You can see the patterns of life around you. And I don't mean that in a metaphysical way, I mean you can just see the routines of everyday people. You see where they go, where they walk.
Well guarded. We need to slip past them.
Fort Hill in South Battery, the second highest hill in Boston, overlooks Boston Harbour. Defences were built here in the mid-17th century, so that would be the 1650s, along with a smaller one-gun fortification near the harbour named the South Battery. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. The South Battery was expanded in the 1740s, but had fallen out of use by the 1760s. Both it and Fort Hill were rebuilt by the Patriots during the Revolutionary War, but both were dismantled before the turn of the century. Fort Hill, the hill itself, was levelled in the late 1860s to make room for more land, and most of the hills around the area, according to that history there, were dismantled. So, there is a way I found playing this previously. I need to let this patrol go around me. They're coming back just now. Charles is hidden, and I am hidden. That indicator above my head, that little circle that is quite difficult to see, that is your hidden icon. Excuse me, that is your hidden icon. So that indicates that you are not visible at the moment to enemies. Yeah, those guards are behind me. If I do this fast enough though. It can be done. It can be done without getting noticed. The only reason I restarted is I didn't want to fight. I don't want to fight those guys. I'm not interested.
See, Charles? We'll have church in no time, just as I said we would.
If I might ask, sir, where did you learn to do all this?
It is a requirement when you're raised in the manner that I was.
Let's actually move this further away from...
Perception is fundamental to the Order. It guides the feet when running and climbing, informs the hands when striking and fighting. But most important, it transforms the senses, and we begin to know the world in a different way. Careful. The place is well guarded. We need to slip past them.
So we're not in the zone where we need to remain undetected yet. That's when we cross that border into the red zone. So I'm going to stay outside it just now. I'm gonna wait and see where these guys go. They've moved this time, so
Locked. I'll have to find the key. Wait here.
so I need to steal the key from the guard's leader. But as you can see, there's a guard looking in his direction. That's the guy that I need to get the key from. Pickpocketing so much easier in this version of the game. Whoops. Okay, so last checkpoint again. Can we? Yes, we can. There we go. I'm trying to remember how I've done this before. It is possible to walk up right behind him. I think if I approach him from here. Or is it this guy? Yeah, no. It's... that's annoying. There is one that is possible to pickpocket the key from without being noticed, and I can't remember who it is. It might be the other guy. Or it might be the guy up here. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I've went too direct the first couple of times. So approaching this guy is not going to be easy. Does he patrol? Yes, he does. He's just moved. So he's going to be the easiest one to steal off of. But I need to be quick. Ah, I got greedy. Okay. Oh, it's taken so long to do this one bit. Right, up this building. Because this is faster than waiting for him. I wish I had something I could throw as a distraction, but they've taken away bombs and everything like that. I don't know why. Ouch. That's better.
Whew. Here we are then.
Why must you always make these things so difficult, Benjamin? Merely provide me with recompense, and all shall be forgiven.
I'll not pay for protection I don't need.
Clearly, you do require protection. Else we wouldn't be here. How very gauche. Now, what shall we do about our guest?
Maybe I take his hands, put an end to his surgering. Maybe I take his tongue, put an end to his waggling. Or maybe I take his cock, put an end to his fucking us.
So many options. I can't possibly decide. Take all three.
Now, hold a moment. Perhaps I was hasty in refusing you earlier.
I'm so very sorry, Benjamin. But that door has closed.
Be reasonable, Silas.
I rather think I was. But you took advantage of my generosity. I won't be made a fool a second time. I fear I lack the constitution to bear witness to such barbarism. Come find me when you're finished, Cutter.
You'll regret this, Silas, do you hear me? I'll have your head!
No. I rather think you won't.
Quick little swipe and no more is. How's that sound, Mr. Church?
At least I'll be spared more of your inane prattle.
Maybe you'll get lucky and pass out. Though I dare say I'll do my best to ensure that doesn't happen. A little bit from here, a little bit from there.
There we go. That'll do me.
Who are you?
Connor Kenway, at your service.
I don't understand. Why are you here?
Walk with me, Mr. Church, and all will be explained.
Boom. Hessian guard. I think he wanted to shove me because I walked across his path. What a shame.
Johnson's told me what you intend. As it happens, the man who held me is the same one that you seek. His name is Silas Thatcher.
That fancy lad is our slaver?
Don't let his velvet tongue deceive you. A crueler and more vicious creature I've never known.
What can you tell me of his operation?
He hosts at least 100 men, more than half of whom are redcoats.
All this for some slaves?
Hardly. The man's a commander in the King's troop, in charge of the Southgate Fort.
We need to find a way inside. Let me think on it. In the meantime, I'll attend to our final recruit.
John Pitcairn's our man. I'll take you to him.
This one's slightly more difficult, I think.
State your business.
New recruit.
More kindling for the pyre, eh? Well, go on then.
New recruit.
How did you manage that?
Did you forget, sir? My commission is with General Braddock. When I'm not attending to you, of course.
John Pitcairn is an interesting character. Young captain in the British Marine Corps, fought in the French and Indian War. Listed as being on HMS Lancaster during the capture of Louisbourg. No record of him being on the American side of the colonies, but it seems he did some covert work as well. He was promoted to major in 1771 and gained a reputation for being well liked by his subordinates and praised by his enemies. So he's an interesting character. Flamboyant, maybe?
Pitcairn, you fool! Your acts are treacherous. Give me one good reason I shouldn't kill you right now. Were you planning to announce yourself, or did you hope my men wouldn't notice your arrival?
If you'll allow me to explain.
Oh, by all means. I should like very much to hear this.
I have not deserted, sir. I am here under Commander Amherst's orders.
Show me a letter bearing his seal, and you might be spared the gallows.
I have no such thing. The nature of my work, sir,
It's the sort of thing best not put to paper.
Haytham.
General Braddock?
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Wolves often travel in packs.
Master Pitcairn won't be here for but a few weeks. I shall return him to his proper post once our work is finished.
The devil's work, no doubt. It's bad enough my superiors have insisted I grant you use of Charles. But they said nothing about this traitor. You'll not have him.
Edward, listen to reason.
We're done here. See these gentlemen out.
We're not getting our final recruit.
And to think I used to call him brother.
What now? They'll chase us off if we try and return.
We're done with this camp. And as luck would have it, so are they. Come along.
What are you planning?
To steal Master Pitcairn.
What?
You'll see. Now, when I give the signal, you're to distract Braddock's patrol and lure them into a dead end.
So this is risky. I've got to tail his patrol. As you can see.
Where should we head next?
Perhaps down Marlborough.
No. Its residents are too content. Their homes are nuts. Their days untroubled.
What of Lynn or Ship Street?
Yes. Those fresh arrived are often soon in dire straits. They're more likely to seize upon an opportunity to fatten their purses and feed their young.
Trying to recruit. The patrol's designed to recruit people. And they're trying to decide which streets they need to go down, where the most desperate people are that would join the British regulars.
Now!
Oi! You thieves and scoundrels, one and all! Fie on you and your false war!
After him!
Good distraction, Charles. So I need to stay with them.
Unhand him, Edward.
You again.
Let us go. And John Pitcairn with us.
I will not have my authority challenged.
Nor I.
Put them all in chains.
I've not prevented the snitches from calling reinforcements. Oh well. Not that I care. I didn't know my pistol needed loaded. Braddock.
I stay my hand today because you were once my brother, and a better man than this. Or should our paths ever cross again, all debts will be forgotten. You're free now, John.
Traitor! Go on then. Join them on their fool's errand. And when you find yourself lying
I assume
broken
you've good reason for causing all this madness. What is it you require of me?
I'll explain everything on the way.
Just ignoring his ranting in the background. Amazing. So that's us recruited our 5 sidekicks. We've got Charles Lee, William Johnson, Benjamin Church, John Pitcairn, and with them comes the other guy whose name I've forgotten now. William Johnson, sidekick. Thomas Hickey, that's who it was. So what assassin's business are we going to get up to now?
Gentlemen, I believe I found the solution to our problem. Or rather, Odysseus has.
How do you? Are you a new guy?
The Greek hero, you lobcock.
Allow me to explain. We enter Silas' fort, under the pretext of kinship. Once inside, we spring our trap, free the captives, and kill the slaver.
Dodgy, dodgy. I like it.
Then, let us begin. First, we need to find ourselves a convoy.
So I hope you're following that plan. We're going to ambush a convoy, nick their uniforms, and ride it into the fort.
Convoy should be here soon. We'll attack on my signal.
Understood, sir.
If we time this right, we can catch them all unawares.
Mother, Barley's preserve! From the farm to your table.
So that's going to be an overturned cart, and those 3 are going to be like, oh, my cart, you know, sorry guys, you're going to have to stop the now. So you can see where our 3 assassin pals are. We need to wait for them all to be.
1,000 pardons, sirs. Seems we've had ourselves an unhappy little accident.
Get it sorted, and quickly.
Of course, my lord. At once.
That's them dead. Caught them by surprise.
Charles, you and William serve as vanguard. Let no man reach us.
What about me?
You and John will follow from a distance and keep watch over us. I'll signal you when I have need of your services. We're here to help you, along with those held inside Southgate Fort.
Free me.
Not until we're inside the gate. I can't chance an inspection of the gate going wrong. I'll see you safe. You have my word.
So the lady is Iroquois.
Do you know anything of Silas' operation? How many men we might expect? The nature of their defenses?
That'd be an interesting quick 2 seconds. Animus database, recent entries, French and Indian War. Here we go. One of the many wars in the long-standing British v French rivalry. The particular war over who would come out as the biggest colonial power. It wasn't enough that the British and French fight one another. They convinced a number of North American indigenous nations to join the conflict as well. The war started in the colonies, but it spread to Europe where it was known as the 7 Years' War. Washington had the honour of starting the actual fighting under orders. He was sent to create a fort in disputed territory. While he was doing that, he crossed paths with a French patrol. Washington attacked, the French retaliated. The British followed up by sending 2 full regiments of regulars to the fight, and so it began. The British fought a losing battle until about 1758 when they got a new Prime Minister who decided funding the war effort was a priority. With the added support, the British, along with their indigenous allies and colonial militia, gained ground slowly but surely, and eventually the French were driven out of all of the territory north of the Caribbean. The British won, but they were left with huge war debts. They tried to pay these off with taxes levied from the colonists they defended from the French. And that's how the stamp duty came in. So that was the problem, exactly as I described in the first episode.
It must be rather important to him if you were given your own
The British had run up debt, kicking the French out, and needed to make the money back.
Shall I engage them?
No. Let Jonathan and Thomas take care of it.
As you wish.
I wish you'd trust us. Though I suppose it's only natural for you to be wary. So be it.
If you've ever seen a film, now that there's no dialogue, I feel confident enough to talk.
Where is Lieutenant Jones? What's the meaning of this?
There is a movie called Last of the Mohicans that touches on this quite
Engage the enemy.
cleverly. It's quite well done. It's towards the end of the French-Indian Wars.
Goddamn dogs.
Let no man reach us.
Looks like you're to meet the Reaper.
It is a really, really good film. Kind of one of those 1990s epics, but along the same lines as Braveheart, although Last of the Mohicans was much earlier. And it does touch on the French-Indian War a lot better.
On your guard, man.
Take a look for Silas.
Of course.
There we go.
Only
Had
say
to
the
time
word
that
and I'll
just.
cut them down.
One moment there. Me and you. Who's your officer?
Engage the enemy.
There we go. Yeah, they're good. William Johnson, I don't know if you've noticed, but he's using a tomahawk. That's how he engages them when he gets close to them, which is quite clever. I think a lot of troops learn to use better close quarters fighting techniques than just trying to spear somebody with their musket. And a tomahawk is certainly an effective close quarters weapon, although if I'm right, I think it was a tool rather than a weapon, wasn't it?
Hold!
Evening, gentlemen.
State your business.
Delivery for Silas.
Go on then.
So we're in.
See? I'm freeing you just as I said I would. Now, if you'll allow me to explain.
No, she's gone.
Let her go.
But she'll give us away.
No, she won't.
What's the plan?
Free the captives and avoid detection.
What of Silas?
He dies.
K-Thumb is such a brilliant character, honestly. So the Boston Neck, narrow strip of land, the land route across Boston, the heart of Africa, of course the bosom of Europe. Wonderful that Boston gets a neck. Fortifications were built across the neck to protect the city from a land attack. When the siege of Boston began in 1775, Governor Gage ordered that the fortifications be expanded and strengthened. Starting in the 19th century, land was added to Boston's neck widening it to make room for the city to grow and presumably to ease the traffic on and off the island. So there you go, more geographical and historical knowledge there. We are wandering into the camp situated on the neck just now. So the plan here is to free the captives undetected. These guys are going to go ahead and make my job slightly easier. Not much easier, but slightly easier.
Greetings. How fares the watch?
Who are you?
Thomas Smith, newly recruited. Arrived from London just last week, in fact.
And you're to patrol with us?
So said Silas. I assume it's all rather straightforward. Watch for disturbances, ensure order is maintained.
I might have to take him out.
No, you don't need to.
I'm sure his uniform's a Hessian guard as well.
Of course. I assume it's quiet here most days?
On occasion,
Go to sleep.
catch a smuggler trying to ferry contraband into the city. A small fine and stern warning usually sets him right.
A nice change of pace from the campaigning back home.
And here is one of the weirdest. I'm sure he pretty much just punches that. Yeah, there we go. The worst padlocks in history. If Haytham can just walk up to it and swipe a hand at it and break it. Quickly check my time. Ooh, we're getting close to the end of this episode.
Such a shame. The colonies are meant to be an opportunity, not another war front.
There is an officer that patrols here. Yeah, there he's there. Just gonna say I need to get past him and into this. Here we go. Because that makes it easier to hide his body. There we go. And again, the world's worst padlocks. So that's more captives freed. Now I need to get to... Can't remember if these guys are actually bothered or not. I don't think they are. They come up as enemies, but they're not people that would recognise that I'm not friendly. That guy is, though, the Hessian guard. Going for a wee splash. There's one here. And break the world's worst padlocks once again. I don't understand how that would be effective. So that's the captives freed and we're undetected.
An hour of quiet was all I asked. Instead, I'm awakened not 10 minutes later by this cacophonous madness. I expect an explanation, and it had best be good. How? How did this happen? My precious merchandise set free! It's unacceptable! Rest assured, I'll have the heads of those responsible, but first we clean up this mess!
Pardon me.
Seal the fort, kill any who try to escape. I don't care if they be one of us or one of them. To approach the gate is to be made a corpse. Am I understood?
This is one of the new mechanics in the game as well that we're going to be introduced to. So,
push them back.
Go on, Hick. We'll hold back the guard while you deal with
human shields. Now the firing line can't hit me. Oof.
For the order! Back row!
For the order. I didn't avoid firing line damage, I just got hit by them.
He's here!
Benjamin!
Stop the interloper!
Glad to have
Kill
you
the intruders!
I could use some help.
I'll deal with this wretch. He's the one responsible!
There we go. That's Silas taken care of.
Who are you? Name's Connor Kenway. You don't know me, but I believe the two of you are well acquainted.
I made a promise to you, Silas. One I intend to keep.
Brilliant. That was cold though. Woof. Look him in the eyes and shoot him in the face. There's his ally in the indigenous peoples.
What happens now?
We wait. But not for very long, I suspect.
I don't think have I achieved full. I think I've achieved full synchronization on that before. I want to get through the missions now. And that's sequence 2 complete. That quick. We're through the first 2 sequences. So I'm going to end this episode there. Well, the new episode's going to start
Now
first.
since we freed the Mohawk prisoners from captivity. I had hoped their leader might make contact, but there's been only silence. My men grow restless. They want to know what comes next, and I do not have an answer. Lee alone remains active, pursuing leads, however slight. He stalks the city streets and scouts the bordering woods, hopeful that he might make contact with one of those we saved. There was a woman there that night. It was she who helped the others to safety. If we can find her, I believe I'll have my answers. So, I watch and wait, hopeful that my true mission might finally begin.
Yeah, as I was saying, there's probably going to be a quick cutscene at the start of this, so we'll do a quick outro in a minute. It's been a fun episode though. Yeah, I'm going to get the 55-minute warning shortly. So as you can see, seasons have changed. Winter has fallen. Winter is coming. Haha. Winter has fallen. We are now in the sort of weather that I think North America still struggles with. We've got snow being blown through the streets, and yeah, it's nice to see in an Assassin's Creed game the seasons start to turn. We've not really had that before. So, next episode we will find the Mohawk woman and we will see what answers she has for us. Take care of yourselves, guys. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and I'm enjoying playing it, leave a like on the episode and a comment on the video. And if you are so inclined, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys for another episode of Assassin's Creed 3. Cannot wait. Bye for now, guys.